Hello everyone, I am Buck WSR Weezer, and I'm here today with a lawnmower that was picked from the trash. That's right, this was delivered to me. Somebody trash picked it and brought it over. It's a Craftsman Briggs & Stratton engine. You think we can get it to run? Well, I think we probably can. This thing looks great. Got the bagger. I'll bet there's nothing serious going on here. We just got to figure it out. So here's how we go about doing it. I'll just walk you through the process. Now, what I've realized first of all is this safety cable's not working. It's stuck. So that's going to have to be the first thing that we examine down here. So let me set you on the tripod and then we'll see what we can do. All right, there we go. You know what I want to do first? I want to get a Phillips head screwdriver and just take this red cover off and move that out of the way. Give us a little bit of a better look. I really think that this is going to be a nice find. Yeah, something's not working right, but I'll bet we can figure it out. So here's the spring, and this cable seems to be stuck. Now, okay, this will move. So I'm thinking maybe it's just the, maybe it's just this cable that has sort of locked up on us. Disconnect this guy. Alright, we disconnected. Yeah, I think this cable's just kind of frozen up. Alright, so I disconnected it here. And you know, this safety cable does two things. Obviously, when you squeeze you have to squeeze the handle in order for this to run. And when you let go of the handle, it does two things. It grounds out the magneto, the coil, so the engine stops running if it is running. And also, under here, it's a spring-loaded brake pad that will rub up against the flywheel to slow the engine down. But what if we disconnect this spring and see if we can get this engine to run? All right, so I've disconnected that spring. So we can there, so now it's in the run position, and let's see now if it'll fire up. There is fuel in there. This does not have the prime feature, so it's got the automatic choke. See here, the carburetor. This mechanism seems a little stiff in there. Definitely seems like it's rubbing against something. I'll tell you what I'm going to do before I pull the string to fire it up. Bring you around this way, and I want to take off this air cleaner cover. Okay, like that. And okay, so the choke is currently in the closed position. Alright, so maybe we can just give it a try here. Set that guy on there. Alright, you want to give us a try? Now that that locked up cable has been disconnected, maybe this will start. All right, so I just closed it by grounding it out that way. So that actually sounds pretty good. Now, when I first started it up, it was a little rough. The choke is, the automatic choke is not working too well. It's stiff in here, but I forced it open and then it was really running pretty nice, wasn't it? So it looks like step one is to replace this cable, because this is just not moving, or free it up somehow. I don't know if I can lubricate it and free it up, but that cable seems kind of locked up. Step two is I want to take this cover off and do some cleaning in here to free up this automatic choke, because this lever is like really stiff right now. And you heard it run. It actually sounded pretty good. I think this mower still has a lot of life left in it. Well, I think what I want to do is try to get it up on the workbench, and then we'll take it apart a little bit and clean off some of that choke mechanism. All right, I'm going to take down this whole air cleaner assembly. There's 3 5/16 inch screws that we can remove. Behind this is a gasket between this plate and the carburetor, which may rip, and I've got some of those in stock to replace it if we need to. Alright, so it's just a lot of dirt and junk, and I want to clean all of that up, as you can imagine. And so here's that gasket I was talking about, and he's kind of ripped, so we will definitely replace that guy. And I'm going to get a rag and some carburetor cleaner, and we'll do a little work to clean this up. I have other mowers, Craftsman, set up like this with this engine, and it runs great. We can't kill it. It just keeps running year after year. So when I saw this, and my friend brought it to me, having picked it from the trash, I thought that is going to be a good find right there. With a little bit of cleaning and a little bit of maintenance, which was probably never done, right? We'll be able to get this guy reliable again. I have some other friends who just bought a house. They'll be moving into it in a couple of weeks, and for the first time they'll have a lawn, because they had a condo before, so you don't do your own lawn maintenance. So he's looking for a mower. I said, don't you spend a dime, I'll set you up with one. And it's gonna feel good to me to be able to pass this on to them. Scraping off some of this old gasket material. Sometimes I will take a little bit of sandpaper. It might not be a bad idea to take down this carburetor, but you heard it run already, and it was running well by doing almost nothing. So I don't think that I'm gonna need to really clean this out. And honestly, it's mostly this linkage up here that gets a little too stiff. Like, that's too stiff. It should move a little bit more freely, I think. So I'm just cleaning it off a little bit. Okay. Okay, so that's moving pretty good there, the throttle. But what I don't particularly like is how stiff this automatic choke is. And you can see it's connected to this arm, goes under the housing here. And I want to take the cover off of this just to get a little closer look under there, just to get this freed up. And I think it might be of value to open it up and take a look inside. But this satisfies me for the outside. Now let's go ahead and I'll pause the camera. We'll open up the top of this engine and take a look at this whole automatic choke mechanism. Okay, so I took the top of the cover off, and I just wanted to show you something. Told you this was too stiff. The reason is this is not quite right here. There we go. This was caught up on this. It's supposed to be inside here. So the way this works is, normally the choke is, I don't know if you can see now. All right, hold on. I want to take you off. Let you see what I'm looking at. So these two were hung up. This was hung up. This is supposed to fit inside here. So what we have down here is a temperature sensitive spring that moves this arm. And so it opens the choke plate by moving this way. So now you can see this is moving a lot more freely. So those guys were hung up, and it was simply a matter of bending this so that it's inside this little U-shaped section right there. And that's really it. And I think this, this automatic choke usually works really well when it's not hung up, of course. And so now with the engine cold, it's naturally in the closed position. And when we start the engine and it heats up, this will move this way and the choke plate there will open. Also, the air movement generated by the moving fins here on top of the flywheel will push this forward to open also. So that's how that works, and it was simply hung up. So now I can put it back together. Okay, so here's the new gasket, which we will snap into place right there. Like so. Get our 5/16 nut driver, and we'll be able to put this back up on the machine. Stuck the screws in so I don't lose them. This breather tube plugs into the back. So you know what I'm going to do real quick? Take this guy off right here. Might have a little easier time. I feel a sneeze coming on. Excuse me. Told you I felt a sneeze coming on. All right, breather tube's connected. And we got one of these guys here. Number 2 right there, and number 3 right here. Okay. That's good. I can clean this up here. All right. This guy back at the top. Phillips head. And this goes right on here, but I think I should go get a new air filter, don't you? I'll be right back. Heads up. All right, that's pretty good, people. I like that. Okay, let's fire it up, see what we get. All right, everybody, that's it. So I'm really happy with this trash picked mower. It didn't take too much to get it back up and running. I still have a few things to do. I'm going to replace that safety cable. I do have another video in which I show you how to do that. I'll try to link to that up above. I'll want to put in a new spark plug, change the oil, maybe sharpen the blade, but I'll do that on my time. For now, I appreciate you watching and being part of this. I'm happy to be able to pass this along to a family just bought a house, and that feels really good to keep this out of the dump and working well, and still got a lot of life left in it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment or a question if you have one, and I will see you on the next repair video. Buck WSR Weezer. Bye, everybody.